The significance of China's spying balloon for US-China relations. What this implies about Washington and Beijing's ability, or more precisely inability, to manage a future crisis, is far more crucial. Because of China's strong emphasis on the inviolability of its sovereignty, it's difficult to imagine that it would allow such activities to take place over its territory. Not as crucial as showing that these crimes of sovereignty and international law will not stand is whether or not the balloon was able to collect any information of worth. The Asia Unbound podcast features discussions with CFR fellows and other experts on current events in Asia. Check out the newsletter archive. More than focus on Asia. Fellows of the Council on Foreign Relations provide their insights and analyses on recent events in Asia. In this week's World compilation of KFR's newest analysis, commentary, and explanations on the week's top international news items. However, as tensions rise over Taiwan, the East China Sea, the South China Sea, and China's support for Russia and North Korea, the likelihood of a crisis of this kind increases. This event nonetheless received extensive media coverage, and it was urged by numerous lawmakers that the government shoot the balloon down promptly, leaving the president with little room for maneuver. Instead, political leaders in Washington and Beijing are more likely to feel pressured to act swiftly and forcefully to protect themselves. Although it was prudent of the Biden administration to pop the balloon, it was a mistake to delay Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Beijing. This trip was a crucial chance to warn China about its disruptive behavior in the Taiwan Strait and its backing for Russia's war in Ukraine, as well as to establish boundaries to prevent or mitigate such occurrences. Instead, it will fizzle out and the two countries will go back to bickering over technology, Taiwan, Russia, and North Korea. But it shows how Washington and Beijing would struggle to manage a true crisis as their leaders would try to protect their political flanks, revealing the inherent weakness of the relationship between the world's two largest economies. Washington and Beijing will need to think creatively about how they can manage such a crisis against the backdrop of political pressures that will not subside. For example, Secretary Blinken could stress to his Chinese counterparts the importance of a robust military-to-military dialogue and crisis communications hotline when he travels to Beijing. Similarly, the Biden administration shouldn't waste this opportunity. However, a more comprehensive inquiry would look into how often China has conducted similar flights in recent years, at least 3 times during the Trump administration and once at the start of the Biden administration, when such balloons transited the United States, and why none of these incidents have been addressed. Administration officials must take this situation with China as a learning opportunity and work to resolve the concerns.